And we're so glad that you're here with us on today. I'm your host for this hour from 1 to 2 p.m. And my co-host is...
Brother Marvin Haywood, and as always, we keeping it real.
Oh yes, that's what we intend to do. All of those that are having birthdays this week, we want to say happy birthday. This is a happy month because my birthday is in this month.
Say the month of March.
The month of March. I'm a March baby. But not also, we want to wish everyone a happy birthday. Get well to those that are under the weather. And we are praying for all those with lost loved ones.
Yes,
so for the bereaved families.
Yes,
we're sending out our condolences. So we're praying that everything works well and things must begin to pick up speed and let you know that God is yet working.
He always in the blessing biz. That's one thing he's definitely doing.
Yes, he is.
And you know, when you said that, you made me reflect on 2 Timothy instruction number 7 in chapter 1. It say, I give you not the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and sound mind.
That's
and
right.
So,
and we got to really impress upon many to sort of anchor down and pray and ask God to give you a sound mind.
A sound mind.
Yes.
Yes.
And so those are all that's in lacking of it, a sound mind. Just pray and God to give it.
Because you know, he also speak on a reprobated mind as well.
Well, also he said in all thy ways to acknowledge him, and he will direct your path.
All the time.
And if he going under his direction, you're not going to miss.
You can't go wrong.
No, you sure can't.
It was like when Peter took his eyes off Jesus, when he told him to walk
began to
across
sink
the water.
down. He could just walk on water as long as he had his eyes on
Jesus. Right. Kept your eyes on truth. And you know, once he began to look at the
circumstances around him,
he began to
sink down.
And he began to sink.
And so that is a great metaphor for us to follow
all the time
through life. So, as many of them that he had brought forth.
That's
and
right.
if we just really sink down and really think about it, it's a guide or a map for life today.
All the time.
Yeah.
And so we must stay, as you say, we must stay in tune with reality, because sometimes we can get lost in the show. And a lot of people say, well, what do you mean when you say reality? Reality is being able to see life from a conscious perspective for what it is.
Amen.
You know.
Yes.
Like our president would say, that's not real. It's fake news. But we know in reality that's
and what
falsehood.
they call that's a mirage.
That's a mirage, an illusion.
That's an illusion.
Right.
Because what it is trying to distract you from the real truth.
All the time.
So we have to be conscious of the things that is bringing before us and confronting our city, our school system, our country.
That's right.
As a whole is under siege. Satan is really in a rage. He's trying to work in these last days. And we can see the evidence of it almost every day.
Every day. And you know, it says, I don't know what chapter it is, but it states this: we fight not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual wickedness in high places. And when they talk about that spiritual wickedness in high places, it's individuals, because we know that the devil was sent down as well with with those angels.
Well, he was thrown out of heaven.
Thrown out of heaven with 3/4 other angels.
Because he had a whole lot of mess he was trying to start.
He's trying to start some confusion.
And he's been down here trying to starting it actually.
All the time.
In a lot of ways.
Because you know what the scriptures say, where are you going, Satan? He says, I'm going to and from the earth.
Trying to see who I can devour.
And so,
and he is.
All the time.
Many just lost their life being devoured by Satan.
That's right.
And we just have to keep conscious.
All the time. If we don't keep conscious, we're going to lose the battle.
That's true.
You know, and when you spoke on the school system, and we want to just touch on that for just a short minute. And the reason I want to touch on it is because everything gonna work out for the good of those who stand firm on what is and not from what seems to be. And I say that because our young children are the greatest commodities of our community. You know, we have young kings and queens, and if they're given a level playing field, they can obtain their highest heights when it comes to education. And they're talking about a debt of $18 million. And I want everybody to pay close attention. Now, one of my things is the solution for that is to forgive the debt. Because the state take care of the schools, and they got money in a rainy day fund to get everything done. What is an $18 million debt for a school system that, in my opinion, there was things that were done strategically with surgical precision to put us in this position. But when you talk about a debt, if you got a car and you go get a car off the car lot and you get 2 months behind on your payments, they're gonna try to figure out what's going on, and they're gonna come and repossess the car. So to let a district get $18 million in debt, and one of the biggest questions I wanna know is, why would the state keep loaning them a school money when the state is funding the school?
Right.
Duh. So
That seems like,
it just doesn't
make sense.
It doesn't make sense. And then they brought in individuals who do not understand the culture, and I cannot stress this enough.
plus a CEO
Right.
for a government-funded program, CEO?
That chief executive officer. And you know, one of the things that was spoke at that state school board meeting, we had one of our former board members that did admit that they were told to do that by the state representatives who, in my opinion, were not working in the best interest of this district.
No, it was.
And a lot of decisions that
Our
they
previous
said.
governor was,
Right. Snyder.
Snyder.
But his administration, those who were state elected officials.
Right.
And so we have to be very mindful. Some things, and I tell you, when they said world-class communities years ago, in the 1997, they said world-class communities. And if we look forward to today, there has been a breakdown in the school system. And I can't help stressing enough that every school system around us is functioning, except for the city of Benton Harbor. And it reminds me of the time when I saw the map. And Etta Harper, she rest in peace. You remember when she showed us that map?
Yes.
Where there was no high school.
Uh-huh.
Where they had that all.
I told many that we had seen that map.
We've seen the map, and that was years ago when we
And she
saw the
gave me
map.
a stack of her stuff. I got to go through it real good because I don't know what all it contains. But she gave me a stack of her information that she had or collected over
the years, yeah.
And so I've got to start going through that stuff and get someone that's in the mindset going forward for the community.
That's right.
And go through it thoroughly and then go through this information.
Yeah, it's definitely needed because they wanted to, the school wasn't there, that was what you would call a subdivision.
Yes.
It was a subdivision.
A gated
there.
commission.
A gated
community, yes.
And this is why they have tried so hard to shut down the schools. And when the point that I was bringing up when I was talking about the CEOs was this. You have a CEO that came in that's making almost $250,000 a year. Okay? And
They
since
come
his
from a failed
arrival,
school.
South Haven, where he was finna leave.
Yes.
Now follow quite carefully. How is it that we have a CEO, a CFO, which is the Chief Financial Officer, and a Chief Operating Officer, and all of these individuals he brought in with him, who do not represent this community, do not have no vested interest in this community, so how could they possibly have the interest of this community at heart? When they came, they made the decision to move the building that had been on Pipestone, administration building, to the township. Now, it's just my opinion. We had passed the city income tax. The city income tax, not the township income tax, but those who work within the city of Benton Harbor.
Right.
And in my opinion, that being that this the first move he made is to move the administration building
Oh, out of
the city.
city. That's right.
So, in my opinion, and I'm talking about let's play some chess now, not checkers. That to me was done so that those individuals that were getting paid top heavy wouldn't have to pay taxes.
That's right.
Although they come into the city and work.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Then you look at them having polices and making a contract with the sheriff's department to do what at the schools?
Drain the money.
Duh.
Continue everything. Look like when money comes in, you see every vehicle there is that don't even live in the community.
That's right.
But that's because we, as a people, have got to start standing.
That's
When
right.
these things are going on, you got to be more conscious and get out there. Your children are in the school.
That's right.
You got to get out and be there and find out what's going on. Ask questions. If it calls for making an uprising, a picketing, or whatever, get busy because these are your children. I don't have any children in the school system, but I'm concerned about those children because I've seen neglect for many a year.
Many years.
This school has taken down to a point. If they dissolve our schools here, they have genocide.
That's right.
Our children.
That's right.
There'll be a nice new school, but who's gonna be occupying this area?
You know what?
It won't be us.
Years ago, they had bought property out by the college.
That was where the new.
That was where the new school was supposed to have been built.
That's right, the high school.
Come to find out, although they leasing the property now.
For
They
years
couldn't
they
be
have
watered.
been.
They have been leasing the property. Right.
So where's that money that they've been leasing that property?
It's a lot of money that's coming in.
Mhm.
And the reason I say this is because I would love for them to go back to 10 years and 12 years, probably even 15 years,
Yeah.
and look at the financial records and Barry Reese and all of those who were controlling the money,
It will blow your mind.
and find out what was done to misappropriate those funds. Everything was dismantled from the skills center to the tech center, and all of these, mind you, were trades. Required courses in the same trades that we had years ago. Now they're over in other districts, other areas.
Right.
You put up all the schools that were in the neighborhoods for children to bring their children to a school. You shut them all down. Okay, but my point is, in order for us to have a chance, they must forgive the debt. This is the only solution. They must forgive the debt.
And they can do it. It's been
They
done
can do it
before.
because it's been done in Detroit.
Yes.
But they can do it because if they look back, this was strategically done, in my opinion. And this is our opinion and not that of WBBH 105.3 FM, just strictly my opinion. But common sense don't cost a quarter. And you don't need no degree to see right from wrong either.
If you see somebody beating somebody in the head, you don't have to ask, deny it and say that's fake news.
That's fake
You've
news,
seen that
right.
with your own eyes.
There you go.
And there's so many things that's been repeated over and over again, which knock you in the head and said, this is real.
Duh.
I'm not just, this is not just fake news.
It's reality.
This is reality.
And that's just like when you talk about the schools. How is it that when they signed that consent agreement, the consent agreement asked them to get rid of the staff? Under the consent agreement, go check it out. It asked them to get rid of the staff. So how could you cater to the needs of the children without the proper staff? How would you even want a consent agreement that would tell you to get rid of part of your staff? Those who were released were those who had the best interests of the community at heart.
Yes.
For years, they have had substitute teachers up there, just like now at that high school, subs. And most of them are not even from our community.
That's right.
And so I've been up there and I've watched them allow the children to just do whatever. You know, no discipline. That's one of the things that I remember that we had when we was going to school.
Oh,
It was discipline in the school.
It was.
And you
What was that
couldn't
name,
get away.
Mr. What's his name? He was real tough. The
Mr.
boys always respected him.
Mr. Richardson was
Mr.
very tough.
Mr. Richardson.
Dunn.
Mr. Dunn.
And another guy that was just previously here who I hate that they get rid of, and that was Mr. Pierce. Don was doing an excellent job, and he is from the community. He resides.
Mr. Oakley also.
Ken Oakley
He was
doing an excellent job.
Yes.
So a lot of people had respect for him when we was coming up. And so it was these kind of individuals that believed in giving the kids a good education. It was the foundation.
What's his name? He had so large eyes. Mr.
I can't recall right off, but it was a lot.
But he was one that if he talked, would step out in the hall and say, hold up, hold up, you young men. Those young men turn around and they go right to him. He speak a few words. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right.
And they straighten up right away. There was no talk back or nothing.
That's right.
When he said something, he walked out there and he was
respected.
Him and his wife both worked there at the school.
Mr. Norton used to work there, him and his wife. Mr. Dunn used to work there as a principal. We've had a few principals that have been there.
Dark skinned.
Yeah, and that have done a good job, Mr. Turner.
No.
But a lot of them have came through and did an excellent job. And the reason we speak so much about this school is because April 12th, they will be having a meeting. And every parent, whether you have a child in the school or not, need to be at that meeting and let our voices be heard.
Yes.
And the reason I say that is because of this. We must stand up for the children. We must demand that they receive a good education. They got a third floor of the high school that ain't even open. They got smart boards and everything. Duh, why is this floor not open? Why is it not accessible to the children? And so when you talk about a CEO, ever since he's been there, the only thing he dealt with is security. They've been putting more armed individuals at the high school for security reasons. When you really don't need no security, all you need is individuals that know the children, that know the community, that know these kids' parents to work at the schools and be qualified.
But so many times they said that I hear a lot of adults, these kids is terrible, these kids are this and these kids are that. Well, we got to trace it back. Yes, it's a part of the home training also.
See what the problem
but
is. That's
don't
right.
ask, why are they limping? When it's already, the leg's been broken.
That's
what
right.
I mean is that everything that has been put as a barrier. So how can these kids go forth and produce and be a positive person when they've been not given the foundation
to work with and the foundation to work with? I agree.
They've been in the school for years without having the proper tools.
Curriculum, that's right.
That's right, to go forward. So we need someone that's interested in the children getting a good education. Many of the teachers that have taught in the past, I mean from other areas, they send their children to nice schools, offer the money that they're making to put our children at a disadvantage.
Exactly.
Now the CEO, he wouldn't dare put his grandchildren or children in our schools.
That's right.
No, because he knows exactly what they're doing.
That's right.
Miseducating the children.
All the time.
Setting them up for failure.
That's right.
Setting them up for the prison system.
That's right.
So why would they send their children into an atmosphere like that?
And you know, one of the biggest solutions, and this is something that, I can't say enough about Tasha Pryor, who has a master's degree in education and who is from this neighborhood.